There are ways you can cut out the rebates here. You can use your bandsaw using a fence to take off the same amount on the left hand side, inverting it, and on the right hand side. Bandsaw to cut these rebates, or a table saw to do something similar. What you can do is use the pillar drill. Now, the pillar drill, it's set up with a Forstner bit. If you use the maximum stoppage as the depth that you want to drill down to, so you're going to have to measure. Okay, so I've set the maximum stoppage for just about 1.6 millimeters, and I've checked it against this one I've already done. So what we're going to do now, we're going to just drill out the waste. We're not going to remove everything though. And then we're going to invert it and do the same again on the other side. Now if you see what we've done, you can see here that you can see its thickness to the right dimensions, but we do have these pieces of wood which we need to chisel off. Or alternatively, we can drill another hole in the middle, but we have to make sure that we leave some supporting areas, otherwise we won't be drilling true. There we go. That's probably the neatest and quickest we could do it. It doesn't matter about these holes, they have no bearing on the actual structural part of the instrument. They'll never ever be seen. I mean, you can fill them in if you really wanted to with a piece of wood, but it's unnecessary to do so. So what we do is we take a chisel and we chisel off these pieces. So we lay our chisel on here. Okay, so we've got to the stage where we've either done it by cutting away a piece of wood, or we've done it by drilling the holes. Okay, so now what we need to do is to look at the rebate for the soundboard. Now there are some fundamental choices now that need to be made. What we can do at this stage is make a decision whether we're going to make our neck flat along the plane or have a slight angle. All of my stick dulcimers I've made in the past have all had a slight angle, maybe just a couple of degrees, and I do this by setting the neck back slightly, 1/10 of an inch tilted back, and that gives you an extra 2 or 3 millimeters up down here, again, which gives you a little bit more volume, a little bit more power, but you don't want to overdo it. This is a subtle thing that if you want to try it. If you wanted to tilt your neck back, it's this bottom part here that you need to adjust the angle of, because this becomes your datum for the thicknessing of the top part. So if you put a slight back angle in there, which means to take off a bit there, so that the neck is facing that way, tilting backwards, then when you lie this on, then it would still take off an equal amount, but the neck will be at a slight angle. And to mark it on the neck blank, best thing to do is to lay the neck flat on a piece of flat wood. Make sure it's flat wood, and then to take the shim, which is like a 2mm or so shim, and place it near the nut end. This raises the neck by about 2mm at this end. Now what you need to do is to mark a line that is parallel. Okay, and I'm not using this to make a parallel line. By sanding parallel to this line, when we invert it and place it on the bench drill and drill out the rebate, what we'll find is that it will follow this angle, and we'll have a groove up here which is at a slight angle. So this is the rebate of the soundboard, and this mark here is just extend it over there as well. This is that's going to be the back of the instrument. And we've done that from both sides. Okay, now we'll do the same again as we did. Well, first of all, we're going to sand this down. Actually, we'll use the sander to get this down to this line, and from that position, then we're going to mark on. We're going to cut that out with the bench drill. And again, once you've done that, you again use your chisel. You lie your chisel flat against here, and you just pop out the. I plan to finish off the neck once it's glued to the body, but the last thing I'm going to do is to thickness the headstock. Now, if you see the mark I made earlier, that scratch line there, a 40mm mark, well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this thicknesser attachment on my bench drill. I'm just going to sand that to size. You can use a good thing about the thicknesser is that it gives you an even thickness all over. This is a variation on the Gilbert sanding disc. This one's made by Pete Howlett in Wales, and just insert this into here. Remember to always refer to the marks you've made on both sides.